So this month is all about really gathering all of your energy and applying it to something new that you want to do, something new you want to start. If this is a project, if this is a career move, if you're trying to go back to school, if you are trying to have a baby, if you're trying to find a new partner, then really use all of this potent energy that is all around you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are doing a belated Aries season forecast, and I'm just gonna quickly break down how it's gonna work, what I'm gonna be using. And this is for all of the signs, so this does not matter what sign you are. I'm gonna be talking about the energies that are gonna be incoming, kind of like a forecast, like a weather forecast, but an astro weather forecast. But I've never done something like this on my channel, and it is something that I wanna continue to do, so I hope you guys like it. So first, let's talk about Aries and what the season brings. And first of all, yes, I am aware that I am focusing on spring, and I am aware that people that are on the lower half of the planet are not going to be experiencing spring. They're going into their own equinox right now. They're going into the fall. But I still think the energy of Aries is something that we can all tap into no matter where we are. But now that I've addressed that, let's talk a little bit about Aries. So whenever we pay attention to what's going on with the planets and the seasons and the energies, we are tuning into what's naturally there. We are sort of tuning into the natural rhythm of the universe, essentially. And when we do that, we can function at our best. And then Aries is that first spark of life. Aries is all, it's cardinal fire. So the cardinal signs signal the change from season to season. So this is all about going into a new season of us. And I'd say that it's about us because all fire signs are really trying to get you to connect with source, the source of who you are, the source of life. And that is really what Aries season brings to us. It's kind of like an impetus to come back to life. After winter comes spring. And so we are being re-enlivened into different areas of our life. We are preparing ourselves for the right season to come, and for us to have sort of all of the materials gathered and ready and our idea sort of concocted so that we could kind of unleash it into the universe. Aries season reminds me a lot of the Fool card, and I really love the imagery of the Fool card because it is all about taking a step and really trusting that something good and something positive is going to come out of it. It's kind of like that youthfulness that Aries has, where they don't really care about the consequences of what they're doing because they are so tapped in and connected to their passion and to their energy, and they sort of just go for it. And that is the energy that sort of Aries season is inviting into all of our lives, because that's what the seasons do. And it's just a matter of where is it that it's going to be enlivened, and that really depends on your particular chart. The energy really, it works for everybody in a sort of blanket statement. So we're all in the Aries season right now, and then each individual person has a more specialized sort of vibe that is going on for them based on their individual chart and their planetary placements, right? So whatever it is that you want to revive in your life right now, Aries season has the energy to do that for you. So it doesn't matter what sign you are. Aries wants to bring life after death. After the heaviness, after the difficulty, after the fog of Pisces season, we are brought into this spring. We are brought into this new opportunity. And whatever it is that you want to do, there is a time for it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling some cards. First, we're going to look at the astro weather and what is going to be going on in this month. And Aries season really is taking place from March 20th until April 19th. So yes, I realize I'm a little bit late, but it's better late than never. And I just kind of sort of wanted to test the waters and see if you guys like this. And finally, things lined up for me to do it today. So we're doing it today. So for the key things that are coming up in this Aries season, we're gonna have a Libra full moon on the 28th of March, and we're gonna have a new moon on April 11th. And this new moon is gonna be in Aries. So this is all about a baby, youthful, new things, new goals, new me, new year. This is the astrological new year. That's the kind of new moon we're gonna have. And that Libra full moon is all about creating something that is fair, something that is balanced, perhaps something having to do with relationships or with seeing yourself in a light that is more positive. So we're going to talk about that in a bit. But astrologically, we also have some really exciting things that are, and I'm looking at like my iPad, I'm looking at my notes. So Mars is going out of bounds from March 21st to May 24th. That's quite a long stretch, and the moon's going to be out of bounds most of the year. So if you don't know what out of bounds means, essentially this just means that the planets are moving sort of outside of the bounds where they usually operate. So I made a video on out of bounds planets. I sort of need to redo it because it was like one of my first videos and the audio is probably crappy, but if you want to watch that, go ahead and watch it. But essentially, when you have a planet that is going outside of 23 degrees 27 minutes in declination, essentially the meaning of the out of bounds planets is that they are operating outside of the bounds of the sun. So the sun has a trajectory that it normally takes, and when the planets are going outside of this trajectory, then they're really operating in a way that is more free because the boss is not around. The boss can't watch them. The sun is the boss, you know, Leo knows this. So the planets are sort of wonkier. They're more wild. They could sort of have more independence. And this sounds a little bit like Aquarius. Like think about an Aquarius flare or a Uranian flare to them. So the moon is going to be extremely passionate. It's going to be extremely paranoid. It's going to be creative even. Take everything that the planet does and take it to an extreme. So we already have Mars. We already have Mars in Gemini, which Gemini is a very active sort of intellectual planet. So Mars is already on edge in that sense and really looking for things to do, looking for fun, looking for new creative ways of doing things. That's what our Mars in Gemini is doing. But the out of bounds element is really adding a lot to that. So it's taking it to another level. So I really feel that the theme of this Gemini, Mars going out of bounds during Aries season, remember that Aries is ruled by Mars. So all of this Gemini, this very high energetic state is being taken to the next level. So I think that this is super important and super potent if you're talking about that new moon on the 11th of April. And I think this is so important for people who are looking for new avenues, for new ways of doing things, or for new love. And that's why I think it's a really opportune time to work on those things, to set those intentions. Maybe do it on the full moon. If you're looking for a new relationship, then the 28th of March would be a really excellent way of really setting your intention on the right path, because it is on a Sunday. So the sun Sundays are ruled by the sun, and the sun is all about creating something. It is a life-giving force. So if you're trying to give life to a relationship, it is a full moon in Libra. That would be an excellent time for this. And if you are trying to start a new project, open up a new business, or just sort of like working on the ideas for this, then the new moon on Sunday in Aries on the 11th of April would also be an excellent day of doing that, because again, it is on a Sunday and the sun is all about creation, about instilling life into something. So again, always pay attention to the days that you are doing things. And I also sort of wanted to highlight this other day. If you're looking for inspiration, if you're looking to start something new, you're trying to start a new project, and you're looking for inspiration to make it happen, then the 30th of March would be a really great way of doing that, because Mercury is going to be conjunct to Neptune. And even though, yes, this could be foggy and hazy, so don't use that day for signing your contracts or for doing anything very numerical where you need a very clear mind. But if you need inspiration, if you need a day for pinning, if you need a day for painting, a day for brain dumping, just putting all of your ideas down on paper, the ideas that could potentially end up being your new project that you plan for on Sunday, the 11th of April, then the 30th would be a really excellent day to inspire yourself, to really start over in terms of your mind of where it is that you want to go. It is just a really magical time because you have Mercury and Neptune together. And even though, yes, this is hazy and confusing, I'm not a dummy. I don't think that Neptune is a positive thing for Mercury. use it in a positive way. It's going to happen anyway. The fog is going to be there. So go into the fog, get inspired, and come out of the fog with something new to really plant into the ground on the 11th of April with that new moon in Aries. When we're trying to work with the natural energies of the planets, we sort of want to look at the symbolism in order to make our intentions, our spells, whatever it is that we're doing, this energetic magic that we're trying to do, we want to make sure that we're lining up to whatever it is that is just already going on, because you can't change the energy of the universe. Like, you can't. You can only sort of wield it and kind of make it work for the thing that you're trying to do. So everything that I just talked about, it just sounds like a lot of energy, just a lot of high energy and just this impetus to move and to do things. So if you're trying to move and do things, go in a new direction or find new love, I pulled some cards for it. So for the people who are looking for new love, I used 2 different decks because that's just how I roll. And I got the Fool, the reverse 6 of Cups, and the 2 of Swords. But the 2 of Swords was first. They sort of were pulled like this. I'll try to put a picture of it. I'll put a picture so that you can see what I'm talking about. So essentially, the Fool during this season, for me, it is really signaling the importance of starting fresh and starting over. And the 2 of Swords with the reverse 6 of Cups is really talking about if you're trying to find new love, and you definitely are. If you're trying to find something new, there are things you need to let go of. There are things that you need to see. There are choices you need to make that are going to kind of free you up to find this new source of love that you potentially can find. The 6 of Cups is sort of letting go of things that maybe you were holding on to. The 6 of Cups upright, we got it reversed. Upright, it is all about holding on to things, sort of cherishing things. It reminds me of Cancer, being nostalgic, really having fond memories. It's a very childlike energy, and it's a very tender energy. But when it is reversed, it's about letting go of this, letting go of these memories, letting go of sentimentalities. And combined with the 2 of Swords, it's really like you have to see this. There's a step you need to take and a choice you need to make to let go of the things from the past that you're sort of seeing things in a way that isn't useful for you anymore. And you're seeing things, you're sort of hanging on to things and sentimentalizing things that is preventing you from having this new fresh start. So if you want to have something fresh, you need to see things with clear eyes. You need to stop romanticizing things and stop holding on to things from the past, because even though things were great, maybe with this person or the situation that you were in, it had its positive things, but now it's time to start over, because like it's Aries season and you got the Fool. So this is about starting over and starting fresh. So if that's what you're looking for, this is like reiterating the importance of you starting fresh and really letting go of things that you're just sort of romanticizing, and it's really just, it's not it. Like, it's not there. So you need to let go of that. And then for people who are just looking for a new direction, who are looking for just inspiration, they just altogether want to start over. They want a restart. I take any opportunity to restart the year. I celebrate every single new year, the regular new year, the Chinese new year, now the astrological new year. I love New Year's. I love the opportunity of just fucking up and then just starting over again, like, oh, that didn't happen. So now is an opportunity to start over. So the cards that I got for you was, I got the 9 of Clouds in this deck, which is sorrow. And then I got the reversed Wheel of Fortune and the reversed 5 of Wands. And so this card like really stuck out at me. So if you're trying to start over altogether, if you're trying to start fresh, what this card means, this is an image of Ananda, who was one of the followers of Buddha. And it is said that when Buddha died, or when he sort of like left and was ascended, basically, Ananda kind of held on to him and was crying and was really sad, and everyone was like, aren't you super excited that like he left, like he ascended? Why aren't you happy? Like, this is what he wanted. And he was really sad that he hadn't attained enlightenment. He was just like, oh, like I haven't gotten there. Like, that's what I'm sad about. That's why he was crying. So he took the time and he spent time alone, he cried, and he really felt into his feelings, and he didn't try to numb them, he didn't try to ignore them, he didn't try to look away. He just really sat there with himself, and he let the pain sort of wash over him, and the next day he achieved enlightenment. It reminds me of Pluto transits, it reminds me of the 8th house, and the kind of wisdom that can be gained through paying attention to our pain and the difficult things that we go through. We need to see them as lessons. And so if you're trying to start over, it really is reminding me of Pisces season and making me think of the fact that if you just finished having a really difficult situation, if you just went through a very dark period of your life with this winter, and you're really looking for the sun, you're really looking for something to start over and start fresh for you, then you really need to dig into your feelings and not ignore them, not look away from them, and just sort of gain the lesson that is to be gleaned there. And the reversed Wheel of Fortune and the reversed 5 of Wands, for me, it's sort of like accepting that those bad things happen, that those troubles happen, that the fighting happened, that tension happened, all of the negativity that is behind you. If you want to start over, you need to look at it very clearly. Why did this happen? How did I get myself into this situation? And what can I glean from the negativity that I just experienced so that I don't continue having it, so that you can get that enlightenment in terms of this situation. So if you just had a really difficult period of your life and you want to start over, then do some journaling, really sit with yourself and be with yourself in the feelings that you might have experienced, and try to see what beneficial thing, what lesson, what strength can you gain from it. So that's really what I got from that. So the planetary energies that we work with in a particular season, these are kind of like the ingredients that we have for a recipe. We can have something that we're trying to build, and we get all of the ingredients for the recipe. And if we have just the right ingredients, then we have a higher opportunity of that thing actually coming to fruition the way that we want it to. So you can do magic until you're blue in the face, but if you're not paying attention to the planets, the seasons, and the energy of the day, the hour, all of this, you're really not making an intention or a spell or whatever it is that you're doing, whatever work you're trying to do, you're not putting all of the power that could be behind it. So in the effort of doing that, I'm gonna be making these videos because I do it for myself. So now I'm gonna be doing it for myself and also sort of for you guys and sharing it and see if you guys like it. Okay guys, so that's the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. I put out videos every single week, and every single week my hair gets frizzier. So if you want to come back and see how frizzy my hair could potentially be in the future, I suggest you subscribe and you leave a comment talking about how wonderfully frizzy my hair is. So thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.